I hit pause and I just heard this big crunchy kick drum thing. Hey everyone, how's it going? So this is probably one of the most looked forward to reactions that you guys have wanted on this channel. I mean, 190 votes as of today is insane. Thank you guys so much for telling me what you want to see more of. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Jacob Williams. I am a professional music producer and composer. And real quick, before we get started with the party, I want to give a quick shout out to our patrons for this channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting this directly and for giving us more power to bring more content to you guys. First off, I really loved our journey on the other FKA Twigs album that we listened to, Sexua. We're moving on to Magdalene, and a lot of you were actually attesting to this being sort of her magnum opus, and I guess kind of the perfect FKA Twigs project. And some of you even said like I should have reacted to this one first. Like this is like I know we went to Sexua because it was recommended to me, but I remember reading a lot of comments saying that this is the proper FKA Twigs project to listen to. And honestly, I really liked everything we heard on the other one. Like if I go back to what we heard, I mean, this was just like, there was a lot going on in this project. I loved everything about it. I loved the work that Twigs did with Coreless, and even then I didn't expect so many EDM elements to be flying around the production on this thing. It was just it was a monster to listen to. And I mean, the songcraft, the songwriting was really catchy too. I think that was another thing that stuck out to me. Sometimes like when you listen to a project, sometimes the production is the shining star and other times the lyrics and the songwriting are. This was like hand in hand. It was a pretty decent project, and it kind of got me into the whole Twigs loophole here. But let's go ahead and dive right in. Really quick, one last thing though. I know you guys are itching for me to listen to this, but one thing I wanted to bring to your guys' attention is, as of today, you will have this on YouTube, and Weed Killer by Ash Nico will be available on Patreon, and by the time you see this, there will be a new poll up in the community post, so make sure you peep that and make sure you check it out. Also, for those of you who are new here, the way that I like to do things on this channel is I like to pause a lot. That's just what I do. Like I go through the song and I pause when I hear something awesome or epic or crazy because I just want to talk about it. So please understand that's just what we do here. So quick disclaimer, pauses are imminent. Don't be shocked if I pause during your favorite part, because I want to talk about the cool things that are happening. Let's go ahead and dive into this album, shall we? I'm gonna plug in and let's get started with track 1, Thousand Eyes.
If I walk out the door, it starts our last goodbye. If you don't pull me back, it wakes 1,000 eyes.
I'm already hearing it. So I asked you guys a very important question last video where we talked about FKA Twigs, and we were talking about, or I asked you guys rather, what is kind of her staple sound? Like what is a sort of, if you had to pigeonhole FKA Twigs into one of these songs off of Sexua, what would it be? And you guys said a mixture of things, but the main things I saw was Keep It, Hold It, Striptease, and 24-Hour Dog. And right away on this, I'm hearing a little bit of Striptease and also a little bit of Keep It, Hold It with the chanting vocals.
The door, it starts our last goodbye. If you don't pull me back, it wakes 1,000 eyes. If I walk out the door, it starts our last goodbye.
I just noticed something. So I was a little caught up in that drum thing that's coming up with her voice. And first of all, loving the mood of this song right out the gate. I'm also, so there's like a timpani in the background, which is like it's like a cinematic kind of drum. It's like this big, or maybe it's a bodhran, but I want to say it's a timpani. What I'm noticing is beneath that, there's like a pulse coming up. I can't tell what instrument it is yet, but there's a pulse coming up with it for sure. Like that's the only way I can describe it. There's just like a rising tension. I don't know if it's a pad, I don't know if it's a string or like a pluck thing, but it's coming up with it and it's playing like the main chord progression.
If you don't hold me back, it weighs 1,000 times. If I walk out the door,
We dropped the instruments and now we got different ones coming in right now.
if I walk out the door, if I
Okay. All right. This is so soulful. It's not even funny. Like the way that the vocal bed is kind of stacked up right now, all the layers, the way they're progressing feels so Bjork. It feels so just like, or I don't know, like just arranged in a way that makes you feel like your soul is leaving your body. I mean, I don't even know how else to describe it. But the bass synth in particular, the bass synth is literally the audio interpretation of feeling like you're walking through like quicksand or something, like you're just carrying this weight, right? This has a nice mix of like soul, folk, avant-garde, and like electronic. There's like electronic stuff looming in the background again, kind of like what I mentioned on Eusexual. We're getting just a hair of Massive Attack in there. Just ooh, it's getting heavier, guys. That was cool. So as the bass was coming up, as the saturation knob was cranking and everything was starting to envelop the mix, the vocals actually fell back into the mix. The vocals sank further and further and further and further into the mix with a bunch of reverb, it sounded like.
It's gonna be good when
Oh my god, it's getting so loud. Wow, okay. I'm gonna let it play out.
If I walk out the door, it starts our last goodbye. If you don't pull me back, it
I was gonna let it finish, but we need to talk about things like, so towards the end of that last like chorus or like hook section, again, the arrangement on this is more like straight. It's not like straightforward pop at all. This is very folk, where you kind of have like a repeating sort of thing constantly going and constantly like dripping through the song type of thing. Added so much to an already amazing vocal performance. Like the vocal, like this song definitely demonstrates what Twigs is capable of with her voice. And I said that from a song from Eusexual last time when we were talking about Twigs, but this song is definitely one that shows her capabilities as a vocalist, and her range, being able to go that high and bring it all the way back down, it's incredible. It's a really great performance. And I mean, even the instrumentation going up and getting loud and getting distorted and then pulling back. And then we're back into the atmospheric, ethereal, soulful soundscape, whatever you want to label it as, environment. Um, it's absolutely beautiful. This is a really, really beautiful song. What is that? It definitely sounds like a vocal, but just trailing off with a bunch of ambient, like, sounds like it's running through like Valhalla reverb and a bunch of different like echo pedals or something. It's really trippy. Well, his whole experience right there was trippy. What a cool intro to an album. Let's check out Home With You. I want to say this looks like a single, like it, like just based on the play count, and I think I've seen this. Hold on. This is the best way to find out. Oh, I actually don't see anything in her top songs that are on Magdalene, but I'm assuming this is like the single based on the play count. Let's check it out. Home With You, track 2.
I'm so wired for it, seen it, tried it. I die for you on my terms when I get my lesson. Those cherries, pain, breathe out pain. No, Novocaine, still maintain my grace. How come the more you have, the more that people want from you?
How could the more you have, the more that people want from you? That's a cool lyric. That the way that she was singing it sounded so gravelly and so like frustrated. But see, I am not a lyrical person, and I got that immediately because of how uniquely it was sung. So sometimes singing your song in a very unique way at a certain part makes things stick with people easier because it's not just the same type of singing style running through the same song. But I like how minimal this is starting. Let's see how it progresses. I'm expecting a drop or some sort of break of some sort in these couple of tracks here.
You burn away the more that people earn from you. The more you pull away, the more that they depend on you. I never seen a hero like me in a sci-fi. So I wonder if you need to remember me. I wonder if you think that I can ever raise you up. I wonder if you think that I can ever help you fly. I never seen a hero like me in a sci-fi. But I save a life if I thought it belonged to you. Mary Magdalene would never let her loved ones die.
This is really interesting because right here we have a lot of vocal modulation happening. So what modulation is it's kind of like, just effects that you throw on the vocal to modify them. And there's a lot of like warbly chorus effect, delay effect, phase distortion even. There's a lot of phase happening here, and the distortion definitely kicks in about halfway through that vocal phrase. I don't know if it's like the gain going up or if it's like the fuzz causing the screaminess and the screechiness of her vocal there, but it definitely has some sort of crazy distorted qualities to it. I don't think Twigs is actually applying that distortion humanly. I think it's definitely processing doing it, but it's a really creative way to use the effect. Oh. I'm sorry. I was trying to predict when it dropped. Okay, that was neat. I loved how we went from a minimal, very avant-garde, like crazy industrial sort of start to like this pop soul thing. And then that falsetto performance just drifted into thin air with that echo effect. That was really sick.
All I see is black. I'm falling to the floor.
Get some staticky drums in there.
More. Get it on Exana. I've been gone. You've been all alone. Stoking all the fires in the cellar. Please lie. Call me late at night. And I'll be running home to you.
Who here listens to Death Grips? This is like the beat in here is literally straight off of Money Store, like industrial hip hop a little bit, especially with the little rapped pattern of the vocal going in between it. Leaning more R&B for sure because it's more melodic, it's more sung, but it definitely has a bit of that sort of rapped rhythmic type of flow to it for sure. But definitely a little bit of industrial hip hop roots there coming. Oh, nice. Beautiful. Are those flutes? Okay. Those flutes that were coming out of nowhere, like some Disney soundtrack, like swell thing, started just into like obscurity. There's a lot of that going on here. A lot of like samples and sounds just kind of being ran through a crazy tremolo filter and just like dissipating into reverb or dissipating into echo. That was definitely a really good taste of in industrial pop, experimental pop. I don't know what to call it, you guys. It was cool. One thing we've learned from these two songs is Twigs definitely has always had a sort of control on her range as a vocalist. I loved the experimentation here. I'm hoping in some of these songs following this, we get some of that more ear candy, that like sort of electro pop with a little bit of ear candy type of thing, maybe some more bouncy kind of grooves. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But I do like the big soundscapey cinematic vibes that are in these first two tracks. I think it's unique and it's a good way to kind of start things off. Let's move on to track 3, Sad Day. This song is in either C or G minor, and I'm going to check it really quick. Hold on. C minor, and C minor. Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I work on so much music. I literally was like, that's C minor. That's got to be C minor, because I just know like the sound of C minor so well. It's one of my favorite keys to write in. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's got this nice dark quality to it. A lot of people prefer D minor for its like sort of warmer quality, but also apparently D minor is the saddest key. I disagree. I think C or C sharp minor are the sadder keys, as is my opinion. But it's really beautiful, and I could tell just by hearing those chords, I was like, oh yeah, oh, this isn't C minor. Yeah, we're gonna love. I'm gonna love this one. Let's see.
Every time you look outside your window, everything is just the same as before. You are turning round and round, you see it's a sad day for sure. Taste the fruit of me.
I love the way that string came in with that vocal note, and it harmonized perfectly.
Make love to all you see. Would you make a wish on my love?
Oh, wow.
Would you make a wish on my love? Would you make a wish on my love? Would you make a wish on my love?
Whoa. I hit pause and I just heard this big crunchy kick drum thing. So what I really like is the bass didn't start till later. I think I mentioned that for one of the songs on Eusexual, but that is a really cool arrangement choice because what that does is it kind of leaves a like hollow kind of feeling for the beginning part of a song, and then when the bass kicks in, it feels more energetic, feels like we're moving without the mood entirely switching in the song. Because I don't know, imagine if instead of bass they added like cymbals or like really loud drums like what we're about to hear right now. It would feel a little sudden. So sometimes as a producer I like to add personally just like a little bit of bass or a little bit of like a sub kind of layer to sort of, you know, move things on to the next section. And that's what I heard right here. So really cool device, really cool arrangement technique, just lightly transitions. It doesn't change anything too much. There was some melodies being brought in as well, very light melodies, but not huge arrangement choices. So sometimes bringing in just a small little bass line kind of helps sort of fluid out important parts of the song. Let's see what that crunch leads to here. Oh, we got some like garage breakbeat drums here. Hold on. Oh, nice. Oh, that's so cool. So first off, I'm a sucker for anything garage, anything breakbeat, anything in the realm of like electronica, EDM, beats, you name it. I'm always a sucker for it. It's just so satisfying to the ears, especially that sort of like boxy kind of vinyl sound that Twigs is going for on this. And oh, I don't know, it's just a nice mood. And then that vocal chop that followed after it, that bum 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 bum, kind of keeps the rhythm going, even though the drums kind of need a break or need to kind of die down for a little bit before the next song section. A good way to keep the rhythm going is just start something new right after it, doing a similar rhythmic pattern. And that's kind of what's happening. I have a feeling later on in the song, they're both going to kind of go like this. We're going to have our break. We're going to have our bass. We're going to have our melody stack. And then we're going to have that vocal chop thing kind of going bum, 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 bum. And that last bump is going to be on the snare drum beat. Let's find out.
Take a chance on all the things you can't see. Make a wish on all that lives within thee. If you're foolishly in love with me, it's a fine day for sure. Taste the fruit of me.
Got some vocoder layers. I love that interval. For those of you who don't know what an interval is the space between different notes. So like if I go from one key down one step to another key, that's an interval. If I go from one key 4 spaces down to another note, that's also an interval.
Would you make a wish on my love? Would you make a wish on my love?
That synth back there?
Would you make a
It's coming.
wish on my love? You're running. You're trying to make it work before.
Oh my god.
You're running. I made you sad before. Have you ever made a wish before? See you running. I made you sad before. I can imagine a world where my arms are embraced around you.
Wow, that was... I'm sorry, I know we're in the middle of a song session, but that was really heavy. That barrage of instrumentation was so just emotionally heavy. Like, they changed the drum break. They added like a couple of like new layers. And when I say they, I mean like Twigs and her producer. But like they added all kinds of like high layers to it to really fill out the space. And they also added like some more melodics underneath. And that synth up there really started setting the pace before the drop happened. And I thought it was just so well executed. Just
Tea house with a cry to seduce you and claim you. So it's time.
oh, those are so pretty. The backing
It's
vocals.
a sad day for sure. Would you make a wish on my love?
Yeah.
Would you make a wish on my love? Would you make a wish on my love? Would you make a wish on my love? You're running and I tried. I made you sad before. And you're running. Have you ever made a wish before?
Wow. Okay, so I that last explosion, so the acapella, like the drop of all the instruments with just the acapella laid bare before the drop, was so cool. And on top of it, I got really curious and was like, who produced this? We got tons of producers on here. First of all, got Twigs, a couple of people that I haven't heard of before, and then we got none other than Benny Blanco, Cashmere Cat, our friend Corliss from Eusexua, Skrillex, and Hudson Mohawk. That is so many producers for one song. Like, unless they were like, okay, so sometimes like back in the day, if I'd be producing something and someone was like, hey, do you have like a drum loop that I could use? Or, hey, do you have something from one of your songs that you're just not going to release or you're not going to like put out? I'd be like, yeah, sure, here. And I'd send them a loop. So I know that sometimes people do that and they get like a production credit or a writing credit. Or are you telling me this song literally went to all 8 of these producers for different things, or they were all sitting in the room going, yeah, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then they made this masterpiece? Like, how, who, what? Like, I can hear Cashmere Cat, I can hear Skrillex. Hudson Mohawk I'm not too familiar with, but I've heard some of his stuff before. I mean, dude, there's just so many production credits on here. I'm just like, who made what? Who did what? I have questions, but regardless, that was a really good song. That was incredibly executed. I mean, the electronic elements are top notch. I like when Twigs goes more in that lane just because those are sounds that I'm like more familiar to. I resonate more with those sounds personally. But again, so far, I mean, this album's great. I can see why it's her magnum opus. Sad Day is so far my favorite. Let's go on to track 4, Holy Terrain, featuring Future. That'll sound interesting. Let's see how this is executed. I like those samples.
Yeah, put up, let me do my dance in this bitch. Gon' get case closed.
Oh, we get Future right out the gate. They're not holding back.
Do you want take me to my favorite show? D2, hold my hand and pull me close. Next to me, kiss my cheek, custody days. D3, take me to a deep river, steal a kiss when I'm lost in the mist. Will you still be there for me? Once I'm yours to obtain. What's my fruits of a taking? And you flow through my veins. Do you still think I'm beautiful when my tears fall like rain? So bountiful, for man was true to me.
what a cool sound set. Let's talk about it. So we got the trap, we got the R&B, we have the soul stuff, we got some electronic timbres, we got the little boop, 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 sort of sample thing happening between Future's verse and when Twigs comes in. And then we also have these cool dubstep things coming out of the trap. So like the 808 is like solid, right? Just imagine the 808 as like a straight line. Then as the 808 comes down in volume, these like monstrous wobble basses kind of come up out of the bass line. And that is just a really cool sound design. Who produced this? Twigs, Jack Antonoff, Soundwave, Kenneth Bloom, Corliss, and Skrillex. Got a lot of big names on here. You guys are right. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely hear the Skrillex influence. I can definitely hear some sort of like, yeah, dude, there's a lot happening in here. Let's keep it going.
Not get bound by his poison, his chains. For a man who can follow his heart.
Need a little sound back there.
And stand up in my holy terrain.
We got Future in the back still. I almost forgot about him.
My skin right, hot pink when you open up my sweet thighs. Pull you in and your life can begin, cause it's early days. We still be faithful for me. Now I'm yours to obtain. Now my fruits of a taking, and your fingers are stained. Do you still think I'm beautiful when you light me in flames? My love is so bountiful.
So cool.
Not get bound by his poison, his chains.
I don't want to stop playing it.
For a man who can follow his heart.
Okay, we have to stop. I gotta talk about it. So the overall vibe of this song is so cool. We got a little bit of striptease in here. We got that nice, cool, kind of calmed yet like really dark and brooding pop with like the R&B and the soul and all the stuff we talked about before. But now we got these like bass lines coming in and they're just kind of like doing like little like triplet patterns over it, just kind of doing like, or no, rather dotted eighth patterns or dotted eighth patterns, just going boom, 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 boom across the bass line.
And stand up in my holy terrain.
Throw loads of gold on you just to fall asleep, yeah. I hope you never take my love in vain. For the thunder through the window, I see rain. Water to go and play with snakes in my man. Making you vulnerable, watch me drown in my pain. I feed you poison forever, my lady. Throw loads of gold on you just to fall asleep, man. Pray for my sins, make me stronger while we can. We die together, the prophecy complete, yeah. We get high, we touch the sky until we deceased, yeah. And if you pray for me, I know you play for kids, yeah.
Small detail, and then I'll stop pausing. So the small detail I noticed is, you notice in Future's vocal cadences, it goes like, yeah, yeah, and then in that third one, like right before this last little bar that we heard, yeah, like it has like a little bit of like a sort of swing to it.
Taking the feeling up from others ain't no way.
For a man who can follow his heart. Not get bound by his poison, his chains. For a man who can follow his heart. And stand up in my holy
I like those chants in the background too. What I like is the integrity here. I like Twigs' desire to stay with her weird sort of out there experimentation, and she doesn't sacrifice just for the sake of having a hip hop or trap artist on the song. Instead, what happens is the song sort of accompanies for that. Like there is trap and R&B and hip hop elements in the song to sort of allow Future to do his thing normally on this. But there's also just weird samples, ethereal vocal performances, and cool reverbs that sort of make it stay an FKA Twigs track. Let's move on to track 5, Mary Magdalene. Nice little soundscape or like world instrument. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, hear that rising up, that big crush? Now it's slowing down, it's getting rhythmic.
A woman's work, a woman's prerogative, a woman's time to embrace, she must put herself first. A woman's touch, a sacred geometry.
Ooh.
I know where you start, where you end, how to please, how to curse. Yes, I heard you needed me. Yes, I'm here to open you. Yes.
We have our keep it, hold it vibe back and fully, and we have it back, and not only that, we have it in full swing. So we had our cinematic intro, then we had our sort of rise up, our silence. There was like a little bit of silence there, and then now we're in that sort of keep it, hold it sort of vibe. And I like the counter melodies sort of bouncing off of her main vocal and the background vocals. That was really cool. There was some other cool stuff that happened. I totally forgot about it. Let's keep going.
I know that your heart is blue. I fever for the fire, true as Mary Magdalene, creature of desire. Come just a little bit closer to me. Step just a little bit closer to me. I can lift you higher. I do it like Mary Magdalene. I'm what you desire. Come just a little bit closer till we collide.
That was cool. So really catchy chorus, if that's the chorus section. I like the rhythm. It's very cinematic. It's very big. It's very operatic. Kind of like the first 2 songs on this album. It's back to that like cinematic, like chamber pop kind of thing. That was really pleasant. So we had all of those world instruments that were playing at the beginning, just scooping through this big widescape like filter spatial thing. Kind of reminds me of some of the stuff we heard off of Usexua that Coreless did production work on. Like I think Wanderlust had a bit of that, and some of the other songs. I'm trying to think, maybe 24-Hour Dog. One of them had some sort of crazy lots of stuff kind of being scooped in, not Drums of Death, but one of those. Just a lot of like world instruments kind of funneling through a filter. So that was really cool to hear on this.
So dark and provocative, a nurturing breath that can stroke your divine confidence. A woman's war, unoccupied history. True nature won't search to destroy if it doesn't make sense. Yes, I heard you needed me. Yes, I'm here to open you. Yes, I know that your heart is blue.
I can't even like break down what's happening. So we have like, there's some stuff happening in the sub bass. I'm loving, again, it's reminding me of chamber pop in a way, because regardless of the instruments that are happening, I feel like you could just listen to the acapella and just zone out, like just breathe and just like zone out. It's very meditative. It's very like trancey kind of.
Closer to me, step just a little bit
So what I liked the most about that song was it wasn't afraid. I say it, but really we know it's, you know, Twigs and her producers weren't afraid to just make a bunch of experimental sounds and scoop them into the mix in various places. This feels like a like I don't know. It's like a cornucopia of a song, right? Like I feel like this song could have taken like 10 different directions from an arrangement, from a sound design, from a compositional standpoint, and it picked this really narrow, fine line kind of in between all those different directions. It could have gone more electronic, could have gone more cinematic, could have just stayed in this lane of like chill chamber pop, but it just like took all three of those lanes and just found a way to implement all of it. Track 6, Fallen Alien. Oh, it just fades out. Really cool pianos right there. It's very organic. Little skittering beats in the background. A synth. String sample. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to play like Where's Waldo, but like Sounds Edition. Like it's just, I'm just saying, oh yeah, look at that. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a Celesta.
I was waiting for you. I was outside. Don't tell me what you want, 'cause I know you like.
Okay, we got a stomping beat coming in here.
I was waiting for you on the outside. Don't tell me what you want, 'cause I know you like.
That's cool. So that bass sound right there sounds like it's got a little bit of real bass in it. So what I think happened is they recorded the entire bass line that they wanted for the song on one track with regular bass, and on 2 or 3 other tracks with different kinds of synth basses or 808s, and just cut them all in different spots and did what I like to call the cutting tape method, where you sort of just like boop, 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 and just make a whole new collage out of what essentially is like the same parts. It's also a great way to surprise yourself while you're making music, because you might hear combinations of things that you didn't expect to actually work. So that's kind of what I'm hearing here on this track, at least in terms of the low end.
I was crying for you on the outside. Don't tell me what you want, 'cause I know you like.
A little acid jazzy in the background there. I am a sucker for what's going on with that guitar back there. What is that? It's like...
To take me home and guide me out. In the blazing sun, I saw you. In the shadows, hiding from yourself. When the lights are on, I know you. See your grave from all the lies you tell. I was waiting for you, so tender. In the shadows, hiding from yourself. When the lights are on, I know you. See your grave from.
Twigs is doing with her voice right now, I like to call it just deadpan vocals, where you're not melodically singing, you're just kind of straight singing like one note. And the reason why it works here is because the keys that are being played are very dissonant. They're not diatonic. So what diatonic means is, like, let's say I'm like, okay, I want to write a song in C minor. If I want my song to stay diatonic, I'm going to keep all the keys that I use in the song in the C minor scale. If I'm going to go non-diatonic and more chromatic, I would use things that are outside of that scale. So borrowed chords or chromaticism, like I would go outside of major and use some of the minor notes, or even the blue note heard in the blues scale, which is the sharpened it's the sharpened 5th degree, or the sharpened 4th degree, or the flattened 6th degree, depending on which direction you want to take with your scale. But because the chord progression is so like chromatic and a little dissonant, Twigs is able to do that deadpan vocal, and it doesn't sound off tune, and it doesn't sound weird or wrong. It just sounds like it's just straight singing over it.
When you fall asleep, I'll put you down by the way you fell. I know you, now you're on your knees.
That was crazy. We got taken to the rave there for a second.
saw you in the shadows, hiding from yourself when the lights are on.
Oh, that part with the straight singing now is being used as a build-up. That's kind of interesting.
All the lies you tell, now you hold me close, so tender. When you fall asleep, I'll see your diary. All the lies you tell, now you hold me close, so tender. When you fall asleep, I'll kiss you down by the way you fell. I know you, now you're on your knees.
That's what I was going to point out earlier. I was like, these chipmunk like choir samples sound really cool. They sound very hip hop influenced, but they're in this like industrial pop, avant-garde electronic kind of space. And they went away and I was like, oh, I kind of like those. I like them being used as a sample. Now they're back. Cool. It was kind of terrifying a little bit. Like it just had like a lot of scary noises in it, but I liked it. It was cool. Let's move on to track 7, Mirrored Heart. Ooh. That scooped bass. I say bass, but I mean like a synth. It was designed using a synthesizer, I'm assuming, or some sort of sample of a synthesizer or a sample running through it. Either way, it's a processed piece of audio. Just to me, it sounds like a bass right now. Ooh. Interesting chord progression. I feel like I'm like spinning in circles or something.
It's all for the gain, it's all for the lovers trying to take their breath away. It's all for the gain.
Ooh, what was the volume
it's
there?
All for the lovers trying to chase the rush again. It's all for the gain.
Oh,
It's
man.
all for the lovers trying to take their breath away. It's all for the game. It's all for the lovers trying to chase the rush again. But I'm never gonna give up. Though I'm probably gonna think about you all the time.
I'm also, am I going crazy? I'm hearing just a little bit of Fleetwood Mac. I know that sounds weird. Something about this is giving me Fleetwood Mac a little bit. Just that bluesy kind of low key, sort of dreary, dreamy rock type of thing going on here. Coupled with the to be expected experimental sound design of an FKA Twigs record. It's definitely a very interesting sound for her. I think this is probably a standout from this album as well.
With me. About you all the time, and for the lovers who found a mirrored heart, they just remind me I'm without you. They just remind me I'm without you. They just remind me I'm without you.
Those lyrics were really sad. Hold on. What a great way. And again, normally I don't gravitate towards lyrics, but what a great way to sort of encompass heartache and like jealousy, seeing people who get along so well in a relationship and Twigs and whoever she's addressing didn't have that connection. And the term mirrored heart, meaning like your soulmate or who you're supposed to be type of thing, is a really interesting way of wording it. I mean, the whole song had just an interesting vibe. The scary like dubstep thing was just a little off-putting, and I like those kinds of sounds, but it just kind of felt a little sudden. But I think what it's supposed to represent is anger. I think it's supposed to be the musical interpretation of anger and frustration right before that really sad, really well-written ending. And what a cool kind of climax for that song. So now that I'm looking at the track list further down, I will say, looks like Cellophane is the most popular and most played song on this album. Daybed, which is the song we're going to hear next, seems to be the least replayed. We're going to see why, or we're going to have a listen and see what we think of it. Track 8, Daybed.
Silent are my heartstrings, icy is my body heat. Yeah. Lonely is my hoping, empty is my sweet thing.
So pretty.
Aching is my laughter, busy is my posture. Telling is my silence, blurring my horizon. Tired my resistance, smothered is my distance. Yeah. Careful are my footsteps, possessive is my daybed.
I like those little chop samples up there. Coupled with the pads, it's a really good combo.
Vacant are my nightmares, rest becomes my nowhere. Yeah.
Rest becomes my nowhere. That was good.
20 is my vision, only when I listen. Lower is my ceiling, pressing all my feelings.
Oh, wow. So we have this like little whiny noise kind of come up, and it like transitioned us into this next part. And it almost like cut all the other instruments out of the mix. Either that or they use automation to bring all of those instruments down. But yeah, so far this is a vibe. Why is this so like not listened to? Wow. That was so I was expecting kind of like an interlude song, or like a kind of like on Sophie's album. What was that song? Disappearing, or what was it called? Pretending. I felt like it was going to be kind of like that, where it was going to be just like drone for the whole song. But that was a really nice, poetic, chill, experimental electronic song. Like it was just really nice. Kind of felt a little John Hopkins in there a little bit of Immunity. It felt very tasteful. Yeah, that's kind of the best way I could describe it, really. Let's move on to the last song on the album, which I'm assuming is the single, Cellophane.
Not to don't I do it for you? Why won't you do it for me? When all I do is for you. They wanna see us alone. They wanna see us apart. They wanna see us alone. They wanna see us apart. And I just want to feel your love. And
Do you hear that in the background? So there's a lot of cool things happening with the piano and the vocals, but right now I want you guys to pay attention to the thing that's in the back. It's like supposed to be in place of a hi-hat or supposed to be in place of a percussion instrument. It's literally someone just going.
I don't want to have to share.
Oh, nice vibrato, Twigs.
I try, but I get overwhelmed when you're gone. I have no one to tell, and I just want to feel you're there.
Wow.
And I don't want to have to share our love. I try.
That pitch control on her voice is amazing. Like, that is really, really, really hard to do. For those of you watching this that are singers, you probably also know how difficult that is to do. When you start at a really low pitch and then go all the way up, it's hard to land on that last note without the help of tuning or without the help of like a really high note to kind of help guide you there. I wonder how many takes it took to do that, because that was a really impressive vocal cadence or vocal interval, I should say, going all the way up to that high note. That was really impressive.
But I get overwhelmed, all wrapped in cellophane. The feelings
Those
that
textures.
we had. Didn't I do it for you? Why don't I do it for you? Why won't you do it for me? When all I do is for you. And didn't I do it for you? Why won't I do it for you?
Oh, wow. This is great. I love the bringing in those other sounds, bringing in those other instruments as part of increasing the arrangement value, while also Twigs just getting more and more emotional with, why don't I do it for you? Why don't I do it for you? Why don't you do it for me? And just further trying to bring that home as like the main hook, as like the main emotion behind the emotional frustration in this song, and just feeling like just this big stomping, just wailing energy of emotion is just, it's really good.
Why won't you do it for me? When all I do
Oh,
is
that rumbling
for
bass.
you. But I just want to feel your love. And I don't want to have to share our love. I try, but I get overwhelmed when you're gone.
Oh,
I have no one
that
to
vibrato was so
tell.
good.
They're waiting, they're watching, they're watching us, they're waiting and hoping I'm not enough.
Wow. Okay. If there's one thing that I can take away from this album, is that Twigs has had a really good voice for a long time, and I mean, just has a good voice in general. She knows what to do with it, and she knows where she belongs in sort of the spectrum of music, and she embodies it quite well. I would say that it's kind of like, you know, you might not have the most accessible sound as an artist, but if you have something strange and kind of out there that is sort of yours and you can embody it and you can sort of do it as best as you can and as like better than you think anyone else can type of thing, this is what this album, that entire vibe right there, that entire statement is what this and Usexua have kind of shown me, is that Twigs kind of has her own unique space in electronic pop. She kind of exists in like this weird, like, if you like industrial stuff but you also like pop music, but you also like soul and R&B and folk. There's a lot of folk and like world instrument, like what we were talking about in the Usexua video. Like there's like, you have to like that 90s sort of down tempo Portishead, Bjork, Massive Attack kind of thing as well, but also have a respect for some of the more modern ways of processing some of those sounds that people might be familiar with. There's also a little bit of Aphex Twin, not just in the last album, but even in this one, just a little bit of Aphex Twin that I heard in there. Where like, what is FKA Twigs? What does she sound like? I would give that person Cellophane. I would give them 24 Hour Dog, Striptease, Drums of Death, and probably the title track off of the last album we looked at. Off of this one though, like if I had to pick a second one, probably Home With You or even Thousand Eyes, like something that has those like big chamber pop vocals, because I think that is a very underrated quality of her artistry, and I think it definitely sets her apart from like any other singer. I would say not just her ability to go high in range, her willingness to experiment and also to try out that really broad, very niche chamber pop, like big cinematic vocal thing. I think that's definitely a unique quality to Twigs' music. I really enjoyed this. Thank you guys for recommending it to me. Don't forget to check out the poll. And for you patrons out there, you're also going to have Ashniko today, so make sure you stop by Patreon to check that out. The link should be there. Thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun listening to this, and I'll see you next Friday or some point in between if I decide to do a spontaneous upload. Thank you guys so much, and have a great one.